Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article real quick. As we see prophecies being fulfilled more and more. And it's beautiful how these things are just starting to, what's the precept in Matthew 24 and verse, the point is in verse 22. All right. Talking about, going back to verse 21 where it says, just roughly paraphrasing, there's going to be great tribulation upon the earth. And going into verse 22, it says, if the days wouldn't be shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days are going to be shortened. Now, when it's talking about those days being shortened, is that the prophecies, all right? Because the prophecies are also, akin to a woman in travail or a woman in how you say in labor. She's going through labor. When you have a woman that's going through labor, she has those contractions, right? Now, when the water first breaks, those contractions are far apart. But the closer that it comes to the baby being born, those contractions get closer and closer. And so that's what this is being, compared to. And as we could, depending on how long you've been in the truth or knowing about the truth, you can look back as far as, a couple years back where it was like, you may have one major prophecy happen in 1 year, or maybe two major prophecies happen in like one in the beginning of the year, one in the end of the year. Everybody's excited. It's just like twice in a year. But everything else we were speaking about is just, this is far off. We were speaking about the, the mark of the beast and things like that before there was even a use for it. I mean, yeah, they had the chip, but like this was before they even had a quote unquote usage for these things, man. All right, the system's even set up for these things, man. We've been speaking about these things before anybody knew what the hell 5G was. Talking about the 5G towers, people didn't know about that shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit that's inside of these, the little Jesus juice. All right, people would. You try to tell them what the hell is in that shit anyway, they still look at you crazy. But nevertheless, all right, now, we seeing prophecy speaking loud and clear. All right, and it's running in real time. So we can tell you about these prophecies, you know what I'm saying? And you can go look on the news and see it happening as we speak. Just like this one that we're going to get into in this here lesson, the hooks being put into the jaws of Russia, being brought back to that superpower state. All right, being a major player on the battlefield. All right, not only that, but being a guardian to these other nations, man. All right, so this here article says top 5 new Russian export weapons names. So this is almost like there's two different types of lessons you could go on or topics about this here scenario, right? One, they're exporting these weapons, right? But then you also have the other side of it of them developing weapons, all right? Early off in the week, I did a video on this new S550 system that they unveiling, all right? Hey, come on, man. They was talking about putting the S500 in production at the beginning of next year, but yet and still, they was like, well, shit, we already got the S550, which is an upgraded version of the S500 coming out already. And not to say coming out, it's already in not production, it's in operation. All right, it's not like they gotta build them up and then they're gonna release them at the end of this. No, man, they got them bad boys out there right now. All right, so we can see that these prophecies are speeding up loud and clear or speeding up rapidly, and they're speaking loud and clear, man. All right, so it says top 5 Russian export weapons named. Now, again, going into the prophecy, Russia was going to be a guardian to these other nations. Be like when you think about it on the face of the earth, right? Going back to Esau, his blessing is what? The sword. He was going to live by the sword. So nobody can fuck with Esau when it comes to this weaponry type of shit, man. So you're not going to have no, like people will be talking about the North Koreans and Iran and them getting nuclear missiles and shit. They not going to ever develop no damn nuclear missiles, man. They don't have it in them to come up with this shit, man. If anything, it's way easier and cheaper and smarter for them just to buy the shit, the warheads, and the missiles from either Russia or America. Russia and America are the only two people that has the technology to create nuclear warheads, all right? You go back to, really, it was the Germans, the Teamanites, all right? You go back to World War II, Adolf Hitler and them was the niggas who had that technology to do that. And really, there ain't no new technology. Let me think. There's really, because they had drones, they had nukes, and they had what they call ballistic missiles, all right? Now, they just extending the range of these missiles, all right? And they're just, kind of tweaking them a little bit. But the actual bare-bone technology that they had, man, they've had this back in those olden days. Like when you get on a regular commercial airliner plane and they talking about we got it on autopilot and shit like that. Like, Motherfucker, that's like a drone. It's the same thing. It's like it's flying off its own basically unmanned aerial vehicle, which they'll talk about one of those in this. They've had all that back then. Now, maybe the hypersonic missiles, that might be one of the new things, but it's just really, they didn't up the propulsion system. But as far as the technology to make these things work and things like that, they've all had this from back in the days. But saying all that to say this, all right, the only two people you would be able to get these arms from, all right, would be either in a more simplified sense, either the Americans or the Russians. All right, they both Edomites. That's the one thing people ain't really taking into account. They both Edomites, right? But you're not gonna have, in Iran, and North Korea, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, well, like North Korea is a communist. They all pretty much communists, quote unquote, what they would call themselves as communists and stuff like that. But nevertheless, they could just get it all through Russia, man. All right, and then the other side would all get all their stuff, like NATO and all them, get their stockpile from America, man. All right, but nevertheless, now we see the Russian side being built up. So let's read this article real quick. It's a pretty short article. We're going to grab a couple scriptures. All right, it says, checkmate, the 5th generation fighter, cutting edge drone slot. Checkmate, 5th generation fighter, which is this here plane, which really, to be honest with you, because I didn't heard about this, they didn't been touting this literally for like 3 or 4 years now. Like when they first came out with the the Su-57. I don't know if it was the 75, but because they keep calling it the 75, but I think it was the Su-57. But basically the same plane that the same equivalent to the American F-35. All right, because they was on it like, all right, you got this technology now, we got that technology now. We on that type of time now. They both was stealth fighter jets. All right, and they was both supposed to be, well, the Russian one was already what they would call like a UAV or a drone, basically, unmanned. You could use it remote controlly, right? Because I remember they were showing them off back in the days, and the cockpits was completely covered over where you couldn't see the person on the inside. And it was like, yo, well, they just have these certain things up there like that because it would freak the people out that, hey, man, ain't nobody flying that goddamn plane, man, and doing these certain maneuvers and stuff like that. These planes are very versatile. America pretty much, well, they got the blueprint to try to make their shit, but their plane is very faulty. They, like, you know what I'm saying? You can look up the specs of that plane and everything it's supposed to do, and they haven't really perfected it like that, man. Whereas Russia has perfected their plane like that, man. All right, China has their version of it too, but they work in tandem with Russia, man. All right, so it says checkmate, the 5th generation fighter. All right, like I said, this is the same as the F-35, like the 5th generation. All right, I don't know why they're calling it something different. That would be a 6th generation, but anyway, cutting edge drone, a new variant of the iconic AK rifle made it to the list. And then going into these like AKs, one of the a couple years back when Barack Obama was in office, this was a thing that they was what's his name, Rodrigo Duterte, the president over there, was tripping about with Obama. He was like, look, bro, you can't tell me who I can and can't buy guns from, man. Because they was trying to buy these AKs from them, from Russia. All right, and then also I believe it was submarines or something. It was another piece of artillery, and America was pretty much pissed at them over those things, man. Because they was over there trying to rid their country of wickedness, man. They was like, look, y'all want to be a drug dealer? We'll go kill y'all ass, man. You had a flood of drug dealers just running up to the police station saying, put me in jail so I don't get killed. They was trying to be righteous, but America was like, nah, you can't be doing shit like that, man. But look at America. But I digress. We're not going to get onto that. Let's get back into this article. It says, the Russian state arms exporter has named its top 5 new weapons, citing the attention they've got on the international market. Now, these ain't just their new weapons. These are the weapons that they're choosing to export, all right? So it says they range from assault rifles to the upcoming 5th generation fighter jet and sophisticated drones. The list compiled by the arms exporter Rosenborno Export was furnished by the company's director, Alexander Mikheyev, on Thursday. The Sukhoi Su-75 checkmate jet, a checkmate, hey, that's the Most High's movement. All right, he even put Esau on checkmate. All right, the upcoming Sukhoi Su-75 checkmate fighter jet took the top place. The soon-to-be produced aircraft was showcased at the MAKS 2021 Dubai Air Show, and like I said, man, they pretty much got this plane. It's just what do you call it? Like a, how I put it, a program upgrade. You don't really have to upgrade the software. A software upgrade. You don't really have to upgrade the hardware. The hardware is already there. It's just a software upgrade, right? So it says, the plane is a single-engine 5th generation fighter jet expected to be capable of operating unmanned, all right, the drone aspect of it, and touted as able to engage in both aerial and ground targets with sophisticated weaponry. Again, that's, just with their latest 5th generation fighter jet, right? So it says, Another selling point touted to the state exporter is the jet's attractive price tag, which is expected to be $25 to $30 million per unit, nearly 2 times lower than its main competitor, the U.S.-made F-35 fighter. So think about this. So you got to go back to Turkey, right? Turkey went ahead and bought that damn S-400 and took delivery of it, where America was pissed about that, right? Now, the S-300, all right, is way better than the American-made Patriot system and THAAD system, which that's basically the same shit, but just the American versions of it. Now, America would not sell these missile defense systems to Turkey. So how do you think Turkey gonna feel? Like, yo, I thought we was allies and shit like that. You don't want to sell me the missile defense system? Because they had, people in Turkey that they were seeming as, these is our terrorists over here. These people is fucking with us and fucking up our country. But America over here backing them as quote unquote, what they call them, moderate rebels or some shit like that, where they was using them as a proxy army. I think it was not the Kurds. What was it, the YKPG? Don't quote me on the name, but it was another group over there that America was arming, and Turkey kind of got pissed about it. And then they was pissed because, again, they wouldn't sell them the THAAD. I don't know if it was THAAD, it was the Patriot system, right? They wouldn't sell them the Patriot system, which was the equivalent to a bust down of the S-300. Right? Now you got to think about it. The Patriot and the THAAD system cost 2 to 3 times more than the S-300, and it's way shittier, right? Why would you want to go and buy something that's like, look, I can go to the store and go buy me a 2021 Benz for the price of a 1987 Honda Accord? The fuck I want to buy that old ass Honda Accord for when I go get this 2021 Benz for the same price? 50, like, bro, what the hell y'all talking about out here, man? It's $1,500 for the new Benz and $150,000 for this old ass Honda. Like, which one would you take? All right, obviously you know something wrong with that Benz at that price, but just showing you how you have a newer, updated technology versus some older stuff. Now, like I said, this is the older stuff. Turkey got the S-400, not the S-300, which was even better than the systems they was trying to get, and for a way cheaper price, right? So what America did was they cut, because Turkey was a part of the F-35 program. Is not as far, I mean, they was going to get some of them planes, all right, but they had to buy them. They wasn't just giving those planes. They had to buy those damn planes, which was super expensive, all right? But not only that, they helped put those planes together. They was part of the, like the heads-up display, putting that together, and there was another portion of it as well, all right, that they helped design. And it was manufacturing for America, right? So America pretty much, because they didn't want to sell them the Patriot system, well, they went to Russia, and Russia sold them the S-400, which made them, kicked them out of the F-35 program, told them you can't get these fighter jets. Well, look at this newer plane than the F-35, because see, this is a upgraded version of the Su-57, all right, with the drone capabilities. Now they coming out with all that. Like, well, you can buy an unmanned aerial version, and you ain't got to ever lose a fighter pilot or nothing like that, and it can outperform its other plane, and then everything that we say is capable of doing is actually capable of doing. Whereas the American version of it is, out of 100% of things it can do, it's only doing about 30% of the things it say it can do. So which plane would you want? And they plane costs 2 to 3 times more than the plane we trying to sell you, man. Which plane would you take, man? All right, so hey, this is putting that Obadiah 1:7. They that eat thy bread has laid a wound under thee, man. All right, it says the Orion E surveillance and attack drone. The new Orion E drone unveiled at the MAKS 2021 air show in July has also apparently sparked interest among potential buyers, according to the export company. The new variant of the Orion is said to have turned the machine into a full-fledged surveillance and strike UAV capable of striking ground targets with missiles and bombs, as well as surveying from high altitudes. This is not even the baddest drone, but again, these are the weapons that they're exporting. All right, this is not like Russia's newest shit that they got. You know what I'm saying? Because they got these hypersonic drones that, you know what I'm saying, for like surveillance and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about that. What is it, the Avangard and the there's another one. One of them is a missile. The other one is like a drone. It looked like a big ass triangle or some shit to be flying. There's the Avangard, and there's another one. The name slips my mind at the moment. But hey, they got a way better drone. But you see what I'm saying? Russia's not gonna necessarily just, they just dropping the S-550s. They ain't gonna just let everybody get the S-550s like that. As far as those missile defense system, I think Turkey is the only people that have got the newest systems that they've been exporting, which is the S-400, which, Russia, like I said, has put in production or put in operation the S-500s, S-550s, and they've talked, from some years ago, having the S-900, which could pretty much cover the whole globe, man. All right. So it says, the drone also boasts the capability to engage aerial targets according to test footage issued by the Russian military earlier this year. The TOS-2 multiple rocket launcher. Another new weapon on this list is the TOS-2 multiple rocket launcher, which fires 220 millimeter unguided projectiles with thermobaric warheads. This system is a successor to the TOS system, classified in Russia as a heavy flamethrower. So, this is also like a for use for tanks, to fight against tanks and shit like that, right? It says, unlike the original variant, which was mounted on a tank frame, the new machine comes with a wheeled chassis, which is said to make the system more mobile and versatile. The new Kalashnikov AK-19 rifle. All right, the new variant of the iconic Kalashnikov assault rifle, the AK-19, has also made it into the list while retaining its recognizable look. The AK-19 comes with an adjustable stock, assorted rails, and additional equipment with all the bells and whistles a modern firearm is expected to incorporate. The assault rifle has been created specifically for export. All right, coming chamber with the 5.56 by 4.5 NATO round. All right, so hey, they could sell these to America's allies. Because when you go into like some of these AKs versus like the equivalent, the American equivalent to this would be those what they call them, carbine, M14s and shit like that, them or AR-14s, AR-15s and shit like that. All right, that's the American equivalent. Now, the one reason that the American equivalent had the upper hand over the Russian one, all right, was the stock, like they talking about, what they call like basically like a speed rail. Like you can just slide a scope on there real quick. You can slide a laser beam, a flashlight on there, and change it in and out real quick. Whereas, the Russian one, they had like the wood on there and everything else like that. And see, this butt stock is adjustable. You can have a short range, long range, foldable, and everything else like that. Now, even though, you had other companies that try to redesign these AKs and things like that. Now, Russia's coming back out with theirs, and they're the creator of it. This dude, Kalashnikov, I forgot his first name, but yeah. But this really is the more superior weapon, because they've even done tests about these guns where, they've had them where they can fire underwater. You know what I'm saying? They can fire, like, if they was to be buried in the sand. They've taken these guns and buried them in, like, the beach sand and everything else like that, and flooded them out with water and everything else like that, pulled them straight out and started firing, man. All right, whereas some of the American, the counterpart would sometimes jam up or have flaws. And, with your regular guns and your regular pistols, you try that shit if you want to. That shit is not going to ever work again, man. All right? But it says, the Russian arms export has already secured the first international contract to supply the new rifles, the country's officials said earlier this week. The S-350E anti-aircraft system, all right? So going back to these missile defense systems, the Russian-made anti-aircraft system, which remains among its top exported weapon, have also been featured with the new S-350E, making it into the export fresh list. The system, which has already been adopted by the Russian military, was showcased abroad for the first time this year, debuting at the Dubai Air Show in November. Now they're saying this is something new, right? But again, a lot of these things are where they have these different numbers that go behind them is basically small upgrades, because like you have the S300, the 400, 500. Really, they just added, like, what the difference between the 300 and the 400 is like the radars that they have. So that's actual more hardware that's put in there. But then they have like different variations of different missiles you can put into these things, man. All right, and little small differences like that to give you these different equivalents of versions of them. But again, these are the ones that they're exporting. All right, so let's just jump into the scriptures real quick. We ain't gonna make this too long. All right, we're gonna go to Ezekiel 38 and verse 4. It says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. So if Russia's able to sit here and be exporting all these missile defense systems to everybody else and be selling them all off, all right, don't you think they got a surplus of these things, man? They got all their old shit that they got, these old S350s, 250s and shit like that they just upgrading and selling them all off. You're like, yeah, I mean, we can upgrade them a little bit, but we got some new shit, man. We got some real new shit. What are we going to do with the old stuff, man? Just like if they come out with some new tanks and things like that, what do you think that they're going to do with their arsenal of all their old tanks? Just like America. All right, they got these F-35s out now. What do you think they've been doing with them F-16s, those F-22s and F-15s and things like that, man? They sell them to these other nations, man. They sell them their old shit because these other nations don't even have that high class, shit that, it's high class to them because they don't even have nothing comparably to that. So America and Russia sell them their old shit, right? It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tomargov, the north quarter and all his bands, and many people with thee. All right. Again, like I said, man, all these. Well, let me read the next verse. It says, "Be thou prepared." All right. So Russia is not only developing things for themselves, all right, and coming out with new weaponry for themselves to use. All right. It says, "Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself." All right. They got the new S-550 that just came out, the new checkmate plane that just came out. It says, "Thou and all the company that are assembled unto thee, be thou a guard unto them." All right. So let me grab this other precept real quick. I'm at to read quite a bit before I get to the point. Well, let me read verse 9 and 10 real quick, and we'll go back to going back to Ezekiel 38. It says, Joel 3 and 9, it says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war." All right. Let me see something real quick. Let me make this point and then we'll reread it again. Salakia. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." All right. And so this is now with these, like I was just saying about how they're getting all of America, like America's allies are getting all their old ass shit. The old F-16s, F-22s and things like that. All right. Whereas Russia's selling out their old Su-35s and shit like that. Them old ass shits that they got, the S-300s. You know what I'm saying? The S-400s. Well, they ain't really selling S-400s like that. Turkey, I think, is the only people that got that. But they've even offered a version of this S-300 out to Saudi Arabia, which is one of America's allies, man. All right, so these are weaker nations. Like Saudi Arabia would disappear overnight if it wasn't for America. Pretty much, their whole military is nothing but American equipment, man. And Americans just guarding all that. So if America was to pull out, Saudi Arabia will fall overnight, man. All right, America's just finessing them by using their oil and getting their oil from them, using a petrodollar. But you have these nations now, all right, like I said, the Philippines was buying these AKs from Russia and things like that, man. All right, you have all these other nations. You seen what was going on over in Syria, where America was bombing them, talking about they had terrorists. You got to just start blowing the hell out of them, man. And Bashar al-Assad couldn't really do shit. They was trying to really use a proxy war to go up against him, and he couldn't protect himself or his citizens. What did Russia do? They went over there with the S-300, the old school jump off, right? Set that bad boy down there, and America was like, you know what? This ain't even our fight no more. The terrorists is all gone. Same with Venezuela, man. They was over there trying to hijack the gold and oil and everything over there like that and throw a coup d'etat to overthrow Nicolas Maduro. But what they do, they went over there with those S-300s and dropped them bad boys off over there. You don't really hear about them no more like that, man. All right. So it says, beat your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right, so going back into Russia being a guard unto these weaker nations, now they're even standing up saying that they're strong, man. Now they're up here being a contender and how I say, spitting in the face of America, man. Like I said, Turkey, man. Oh, what? We can't buy this S-400. What you going to do if we do buy it? Take us out of the F-35 program? We don't want to buy that shit 2 to 3 times what this other plane is worth, and then your shit is a piece of shit anyway, man. It only look good on paper, man. It don't really deliver, man. You ain't got to develop like you want it to be developed yet, man. So what choice you think we gonna make about this, man? All right. Let me read this in the NLT real quick. Joel 3. Salakia. This is Joel 3 and 9. It says, say to the nations far and wide. It says, get ready for war. And this is what you see in all these nations doing, man. Even with Russia being a guardian to these other nations, that's what they out there exporting these weapons for right now, man. All right, it says, say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack. All right, this is what was being prepared for right now, man. They're preparing to go into that third world war. So they're buying up all this here weaponry and technology. All right, preparing for the day of the Lord, man. All right, while you everyday Americans out here over here trying to vote for whatever fucking TV show y'all watching right now, and your little local celebrities, Real Housewives, and this and that. But hey, nevertheless, man, the rest of these nations are preparing for war, man. All right, you modern day and regular Americans are gonna just get thrown out there to the wolves and not knowing what the hell is going on. All right, it says. Verse 10, hammer your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. All right, and this is what these other nations are doing, man. All right, while you modern day Americans are just getting fat, you going into the military and things like that so you can get your little free sex change and this type of bullshit, man. Not knowing that you're going to be, they're going to give you a goddamn gun, whether it be loaded or not, and strap you. He might not even give you a parachute. Just throw your ass out the damn plane, man, because you're going to have the same in-game result anyway. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, let's keep reading. Come quickly, all you nations, everywhere. Gather together in the valley. And now, O Yahweh, call out your warriors. Let the nations be called to arms. Let them march to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. There I, Yahweh, will sit and pronounce judgment on them all. All right, so, hey, this is going to be in the Third World War. All right, it says, swing the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come tread the grapes, for the wine press is full. The storage vats are overflowing with wickedness of these people, man. And that's where we at, man. Like I quoted earlier, man, if the times wouldn't be shortened, no flesh would be saved. So now is the time of that great judgment, man. All right, verse 14. Thousands upon thousands are waiting in the valley of decisions. There the day of Yahweh will soon arrive. And so this is what you're seeing. These nations are gathering together to preparing for war. They're getting ready for this great battle, man. The great sacrifice unto the Lord, man. The how you call it? The day of judgment, man. The day of the Lord is closely approaching all you people, man. All right, hey, and the majority of you people, man, gonna get drafted and thrown into the war. These women think that they equal to men. They want to be like a man and can do everything a man can do. Your ass is getting drafted, man. All right, y'all, hey. You know, they're not gonna draft us because they already know we against them anyway. They're like, shit, go give us that shit if y'all want to and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going out there to fight y'all anyway. And plus, the enemy ain't gonna want to try to touch us anyway, man, because the Lord gonna have the spirit on them anyway, man. So we the wrong people to be getting drafted. We don't got really nothing to be worried about. It's you niggas out here, man. All right, you niggas out here. Plus, they don't, getting into that medical situation. They be like, y'all ain't fit anyway. Y'all be infecting everybody. If anything, they're trying to throw us in prison or some shit. But hey, the rest of you niggas is just gonna be a goddamn great sacrifice, man. And this big major meat grinder for the rest of these heathen, man. All right, but hey, we see that Russia's standing up, being a guard, exporting these weapons out to these other nations, man. Hey, and it's beautiful seeing these things, man. Now the tables are being turned. The weak are now saying they're strong, man. America ain't. Let me grab this last one real quick, and we're gonna close out in Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14 and 10. I'm gonna read it in both. Yeah. Isaiah 14 and 10. I'm gonna read it in the KJV and in the NLT. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, now in the NLT it says, with one voice they all cry out, now are you as weak as we are. All right, so hey, man, now we're on an even playing field right about now, man. So we not really tripping over what kind of sanctions and the bullshit you over here threatening us with. All right, I got one more. We'll promise it's the last one. Obadiah 1 and 7. And give you a prime example of that, right? I quoted it a couple times. It says, I'm going to just read in the NLT for time's sake. All right, Obadiah 1 and 7, it says, all your allies, Turkey is one of their allies, right? It says, all your allies will turn against you. Saudi Arabia is another ally, right? It says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. So, like, while Turkey was helping them out with the F-35, building that plane and everything else like that, they was doing backdoor deals with Russia on that S-400 and wound up receiving it. All right, right now they over there trying to talk to Saudi Arabia. All right, trying to get them to go in and buy into the same, pretty much not the same system, but missile defense systems as well too, man, for their enemies and things like that, man. All right, it says they will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. All right, hey, just like I said with Turkey, they ain't even know about it. So, like, what you gonna do? You gonna threaten us with kicking us up out of the F-35 program? Nigga, we can buy an even better plane than that shit, man. So, look, if you become weak as us, you ain't got no bargaining chips right now. Say something else, nigga. We'll blow your shit up out the sky, and we got your nukes over here where we holding half of your arsenal. So, what you gonna really do about it, man? All right, we'll take your shit, man. Or we'll give it to the Russians and let them reverse engineer, even though they ain't got to. But what you gonna do about it now? There's nothing you can say or do to us to make us afraid of you at this point in time no more, man. All right, we got the great equalizer now. You know, and it's Russia, whatever y'all got, Russia. Like they say, anything you can do, I can do better, man. All right, and it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that's putting the spirit and raise up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for what? His devices against Babylon to do what? To destroy it off the face of the earth, man. Lord's will in this here lesson was edified unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us his truth and our will. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.